A lot can happen in a week. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Natalie Arceneaux, president of Arceneaux International Consulting, and Charles Kuffner, who writes the Off The Kuff political blog. Natalie, Charles, welcome to Houston Matters.
Howdy.
Thank you for having me.
Panel, you're not imagining it. There really have been low-flying military helicopters over Houston skies this week. They're a part of a collaborative training between the Houston Police Department, the Federal Department of Defense, yes, now also branded as the Department of War, and other law enforcement agencies. The helicopters have been seen as widely shared video showcases in Houston area neighborhoods pretty much all week. HPD posted advanced word about the planned exercises on X back on September 5th. For those freaked out by the noise and presence of the copters, I do have some good news for you. The training is supposed to end today. Military helicopters over Houston are just part of a training exercise, we're told. Nothing to see here, right? 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 Aside from that question, is this good, bad, or ugly? Charles Kuffner.
I mean, I guess it's fine. I expect they do have to do some training, and so, there's only so much that can be done virtually. So, paranoid, visions aside, it's probably fine. For what it's worth, I haven't seen it myself, so I can't comment on to how noisy or intrusive it might be. But, I know those kind of helicopters do make a lot of noise. I will say, I was going to, when you sent out the prep materials for this and saying that the HPD announced this on Twitter, I refuse to call it X. Mm-hmm. I was going to be all snarky about how, that probably really didn't do a great job of getting the word out, because X, Twitter, is, one of the smaller social media sites in terms of its reach. But then I looked and I saw they also posted it on Facebook. So that whole line of comedy went out the window. So yeah, that's about it.
We don't necessarily turn to you for comedy. It's okay.
I mean, we're non-experts have to do something.
That's right. Good, bad, or ugly, Natalie Arceneaux.
I'm kind of, there should be an indifferent category. So I can attest, Charles, to the sound. And when it first started, I think our neighborhood must be in the direct flight path or something, because I was like, okay, let me go check all the doors, because are they looking for somebody? I thought it was like police helicopters searching for something. So I'm like, oh my God, we got a serial killer in the neighborhood. He's killing people avidly right now. We got to lock the doors. But then I looked around and I realized, oh, it's a military thing. So it is loud. It's very disruptive. And I feel like they can do whatever scenarios they're planning for, zombie apocalypse, invasion, whatever they're planning for. I feel like they could do that during regular hours. Like, why are they flying when at my bedtime? I'm asleep at 9 o'clock. Okay, so that's why it's bad. But I do think it's good in on the other side of that, because you have to prepare for all sorts of scenarios. It's kind of you're going to get a finger wagged at you if you don't, and you're going to get a finger wagged at you if you do, right? So I would rather get the finger wagged at me for being prepared than the finger wagged at me for not being prepared. So that part is good, that at least they are preparing for things. What I would like to ask for, since I can now, is, since we pay our HOAs so much money, how about the HOAs send out a notice saying, hey guys, there's going to be stuff happening and we're in the flight path? That would be great.
I mean, this assumes that the HOA is up on their social media.
Well, yes. But that would be nice. I mean, and maybe like a little sign somewhere on a freeway or something, because not everybody's on social media. And, to try, like, I have Twitter/X, whatever we want to call it. I haven't been on it in forever.
Yeah.
This is my core of communications.
I will admit,
Spread the word.
didn't consider the zombie apocalypse possibilities here. It makes me wonder if they also had someone role playing that part of it too.
All right, I think we can move on. Panel executives at a Houston-based company that owns strip clubs as well as bars and restaurants nationwide faces bribery charges in the state of New York. RCI Hospitality Holdings owns and operates more than 60 clubs, sports bars, and restaurants. That includes Bombshells locations here in the Houston area and Rick's Cabarets in more than a dozen cities, New York among them. According to New York Attorney General Letitia James, RCI allegedly gave a tax auditor at least 13 free trips to Florida, hotels and meals included, along with up to $5,000 a day for private dances at its strip clubs, all in return for favorable treatment during at least 6 audits across a decade and to avoid other audits. In total, authorities allege the company owes the state more than $8 million. 5 executives in 3 clubs face 79 counts in a grand jury indictment unsealed Tuesday. Charges include conspiracy, bribery, and tax fraud. RCI's lawyer calls the allegations baseless. Houston-based RCI Hospitality Holdings faces bribery charges in New York in an alleged scheme involving its strip clubs to avoid paying taxes. Is this good, bad, or ugly, Natalie?
I mean, I think there's elements of all of it involved. I mean, it's clearly bad because, bribery really has no place, but it also seems to be the way of the world, right? We have lobbyists, we have super PACs, we have people paying for admission to dinners with heads of state. Like, we have all of this, right? Those are all versions of bribes and a way to influence outcomes. So it seems to be the way of the world, but also everyone doesn't have access to do that, so it makes it's unfair, therefore bad. It's good that they have uncovered this. And then my only question here is, are we to assume that the people who they were bribing actually liked strip clubs? Because what if you're the person who doesn't go to strip clubs? Does that really help you any?
You're taking a risk. I guess, yeah. Plus $5,000 a day? Really?
Making it
That's
rain.
a lot. That's making a lot of rain. Good, bad, or ugly, Charles?
It's good, and I'll tell you why. I feel like for decades, when you think of, business scandals and bribery type crimes and things like that, I feel like the strip club has always been an integral part of that world. Maybe it's a shorthand or maybe it's just a cultural signifier, but when you think of business scandals, strip clubs have always been there. I mean, and that could be for, inflated expense account reports. It could be for your straight up briberies and whatnot. But, and this is not just for true crime. It's also been for, cultural matters. You read a novel or watch a movie that involves some kind of business scandal, whatever. That sooner or later you're going to get a scene set in a strip club. And so it's good that, and I would like to thank RCI International for this, for, establishing that in these crazy times when nothing is real and everything is meaningless and the world is changing every second, that it is still the case that the strip club is an integral part of the world of business scandals. I would like to thank RCI for, reestablishing that bit of ground beneath our feet.
Your confirmation bias.
Allegedly.
Yes,
whatever.
Allegedly. It's confirmation bias.
I mean, I am holding on to this bit of the world not changing.
You say nothing is real. I say to you, mathematics. Math is real. And Panel Tuesday was one of those important days on the calendar for mathematics devotees. September 16th, 2025, or 9/16/25, or 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared. It's what's known as a Pythagorean triple, and it's called that because of the mathematician Pythagoras, who figured out how to calculate the area of a right triangle. He realized that when a triangle has a perfect 90-degree right angle in it, and you form perfect squares adjacent to all 3 sides, the biggest square has the precise area of the sum of the other 2 squares, or more simply, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And in the case of 3, 4, and 5, that is precisely true. 3 squared, or 9, plus 4 squared, or 16, equals 5 squared, or 25. And with that, I'd like to shout out my high school math teacher, Jerry Hills. I still remember it. Good on you, Mr. Hills. Well done. Tuesday was Pythagorean Triple Square Day. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Charles?
It's good, of course. I as a math major, I always appreciate math in the news, although I have to be pedantic here and point out that the triple is not the squares, the 9, 16, 25. The triple is the 3, 4, 5, the A, B, and C.
Right.
And this is because
This is the result, though, of the
yes,
triple.
yes. So I mean, in 9, 16, and 25 cannot be the sides of a triangle because in any triangle, the sum of the length of two sides is always greater than the sum of the length of the third side.
All right, Charles is a buzzkill. We're moving on.
Wait,
Good.
no.
We got to move on. We have
out.
very little time. Good, bad, or ugly, Natalie?
I think it's good. Everybody needs their day, including the people who love math. I will also say I have never used Pythagorean's theorem yet. And I don't think it's going to happen.
And I also want to point out, and you can't silence me here, Craig. There actually was a Pythagorean triple day less than 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
July 24th, because 7, 24, 25 is a Pythagorean triple.
Okay. Well, I'll have to look that up. And
7 squared is 49, 24 squared is 576, 25 squared is 625.
So much more information than the listeners needed.
No. You are no longer a non-expert panel, not on this topic. My goodness. I am very impressed, and I apologize for cutting you off earlier. That was some quality math, my friend.
Thank you.
That was.
Very well done. Natalie Arceneaux is president of Arceneaux International Consulting. Charles Kuffner writes the Off The Kuff political blog, and he knows his math. Natalie, Charles, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Craig.